Hello, today I want to show you this small book that I made. When I was building the house that I'm living in right now, it was a very stressful process. So I decided to art journal while the house was being constructed. And this is what I came up with. This is that book that came out of the stress of building the house. So I had like a color palette. I work here with acrylic paint and collage, and most of these are handmade, hand-painted papers and some vintage papers. Also some color pencils and wax crayons. So it's a really mixed media book. And what I did is that I used some cardboard. This is like your standard cardboard to create the cover, and then I attached two signatures to the spine, and they are in different sizes and different thicknesses and different kinds of papers. And I wanted that. I wanted some place where I could just sit down and focus on this instead of all the stressful things that were going around. I also used some, this is foil paper, some metallic accents here. And also, well, I actually looking at it right now, I see that I use like everything I have. This is also paint markers and stamps. What I wanted to do was, while everything was happening, like having a place to wish for something better to happen and to envision what I wanted my house to become. So you will see a lot of repeat images of little houses. This is me. This is my boyfriend, and this is nature. These all are symbols for me of what I wanted to happen. Most of the pages are pretty similar to each other, and that is like a collage background. And then I collage and use acrylic paints on top to create things. For example, these little triangles for me, they represented at that moment, or for this book, they represented the mountains that I was going to be living next to. And here I am planting, so I have some plants and the sun. And these types of books are really useful for me because they're telling a story. They're telling my story for that moment and for what I need at that specific moment. So here I have some mountains and my house, more garden, and the two of us linked, and a little heart because that's why what we wanted to be happier here, and we are. This is another page, and as you can see, the sizes are pretty different, and I really like what's going on here. The two of us linked again, and a little heart. These birds represent our pets. One of them is no longer with us, but I wanted to also incorporate have them in my book and have them in my imagining of the future. And here we are, protected by our new house, and we live really on top of a mountain, really up. So these were like steps that represented everything you see here are symbols, and the way that I express myself because I'm not very good with words. So for me, this is a better thing to use symbols and to use images that represent other things. Again, not very good with words, but I do have a couple of them here. I love this spread, and this is our house, the forest we're surrounded with, and our 4 pets, our 2 cats, or maybe 2 cats, and our 2 dogs. When I look at this journal, I do remember how hard it was to build our house, but at the same time, it reminds me how happy I was. It's pretty difficult to have those 2 feelings at the same time, but when I look at this, I remember, yes, it was hard, but I was so excited and so happy that we were building our dream home. Every page, I could say that every page is the same, but every page is completely different, but I'm actually exploring the same concept. I'm using basically the same shapes, again, triangles, house, people, leaves or yeah, there are more leaves or plants, but each page is different. It turns out different, and that is great. Here, for example, I changed the shape of the triangles to these scallop shapes, and they look pretty nice here too. And my colors will always be super bright and in your face, but that's who I am, and I really needed at that moment to have these kinds of colors. If you have ever been part of a remodeling, building, you know that it is a stressful time. So I needed things that would lift me up, and that is why one of the reasons that I work with so much color is because I don't paint. A lot of times I don't paint the way I feel, but I paint the way I want to feel. So here, these are new shapes. These are little trees and flowers, and this basically is a nature page where our house surrounded by mountains and nature. And this is the end. I didn't work in this journal chronologically. I would work a couple of hours in this page, and the next day I would jump around and work here, and a story would start emerging. For example, when I painted this background, I didn't think I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know that I wanted my pets to be here. But once I finished the background and I had some of this already cut out and some of the leaves and everything, I glued down one of the birds, and I realized this would be a great page to have all my pets and nature. And remember, all of these are representations, all of these are symbols. You might look at this page and not read or understand what I'm saying, but this is for me, and you might like it, you might not like it, but for me this was almost life-saving because it really was a very hard process. And one thing I've come to realize over the years is that the way we art journal is different. We all have a way to art journal. A lot of people use more words, or they make a list of things that are happening on that day, what I have come to realize is that there are as many different ways to art journal as there are people. And I think it's absolutely wonderful that we get to express ourselves in the way that we feel more comfortable. When I started looking into art journaling, I would see these really gorgeous, super designed pages, and I didn't even identify with them, and I didn't feel comfortable like creating something like that. So for many years I thought that this wasn't art journaling. But now I know we all think different, so we all express ourselves differently. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this little walk through my home journal. And this I keep nearby because I really enjoy looking at it, because it reminds me of what really my house it means to me and why I love my house. It's really not about the bricks and mortar. It's about where we are and who I'm with. So that's it. Now it really is it. I hope you enjoy my walkthrough, and I will see you soon. Bye.